Hello, my name is Camelia Brown. This is for Communications 101, the informative speech and outline assignment. I chose to do my favorite ice cream toppings, and this includes sundae toppings for the most part. The general purpose was just to inform of my favorite toppings. The specific purpose was to tell of all the combinations and combinations that I prefer. The central idea is just that they taste better with a few simple ingredients than as basic ice cream alone. And as far as an introduction, I'd have to say that for dessert, when it's time for dessert, a lot of things I reach for in the kitchen make great toppings you can find around in your cabinets, like pretzels, marshmallows, random different things. Today I'd like to share with you these combinations and prepare using that we can prepare using simple ingredients with the ice cream. And there are several toppings that can be found around the kitchen, like I said, and of course at your local store. I've been making ice cream desserts since I was a child, like many of us, and I do always strive to make my desserts fun, tasty, and appealing to the eye. I have a child, and so we're always making creative foods to encourage eating in our home. I'd like to tell you about how easy it is to make my favorite and original sundaes. Ice cream is very kid-friendly, so like I said, it's great for homes with families and children to do the toppings and things like that. It gives them something new to focus on. I think that making them appealing to the eye and things like that also encourage the child to be creative when they make their own foods in the future. You can even give them the option of trying to create them themselves. The first step I make when I'm choosing a dessert is I decide what kind of bowl that I'd like to make it in and what type of sundae I want to make. I also decide what flavor ice cream. My favorites include anything from cherries, things with cherries in it or caramel in them. I also like mint chocolate chip. I like to make sure it's chilled well and not too soft. And of course, you've got to check and make sure the expiration date is not passed to keep you from getting sick. I like to make sure also that there's other things in the house like brownies or even bananas to add in. That's always fun. You can use it as a topping as far as on the ice cream, or at the base you can crumble it up, so it's your choice. There's also options like cookies that you can use and candies to make them fun. I like to use Oreos and gummy worms and make dark sundaes. Those are always fun. We've also done brownie sundaes with hot fudge and caramel. You can do the banana split version with the strawberries and the pineapple traditionally. You can put just about anything on them, obviously. It's your choice. I really enjoy the mini marshmallows and graham crackers with chocolate for like a s'more sundae. That's also my child's favorite. Anything with marshmallows in it. We really enjoy the fresh fruit too, and coconut at times on it. It gives it a different kick, something a little healthier. A lot of people blend them up in the blender too and make them into a smoothie. So there's always that option, or a milkshake. Like I said, I try to use whatever I have on hand, and you can even just do that with plain ice cream. A lot of the things that I just mentioned, like the brownie sundaes, the dirt sundaes, the s'mores, you can do that all with something like vanilla ice cream or chocolate, something very basic that you can use in all of them, where obviously cherries or something, it might be a little bit more complicated if you have different recipes that you're using, different toppings that conflict, or maybe your children don't like certain things. So it is always nice to have the vanilla in the refrigerator in case you need it, in my personal opinion. In conclusion, it is easy to make various combinations of sundaes with both simple toppings and more complicated ones that you get out of the pantry. And I do hope that you are ready to try these sundae ideas yourself at home sometime in the near future and see how delicious they are. I know that I've had my share of them in the last few months, and I had to go back to the gym. So careful with the calories, and I do encourage the fruit and the coconut, things like that, if you're trying to watch your weight as well. I have found that my child isn't a big lover of coconut, so another option is using like low-fat ice cream, using fresh fruit instead of canned fruit, and preserves, things like that. Also using stuff instead of chocolate, healthier things, maybe yogurt raisins. Gummy candy seem to not be as high in calories is what I've noticed as well. So just some different options if you're trying to keep your kids on a healthy kick. Make sure they brush their teeth. Obviously there's lots of sweets and candy in there included. I'm the same way. I always try to brush my teeth after because it's a lot of sweets included in those recipes that I just mentioned. I'm curious what your favorite is. If you want to mention it here in the notes here on YouTube, you're welcome to. Again, I'm Camellia Brown, and this is for Communications 101, my informative speech on my favorite ice cream toppings and sundae toppings. And I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for stopping by.